This is the Guys Being Dudes podcast.
Welcome to Guys Being Dudes podcast. This is episode 1. I am Nathan, and I hope the audio didn't just pick that up right now.
I hope it did.
I hope it did. That'd be great.
Yes. Well, if it didn't, Mike just.
Might have
to move halfway through this podcast.
We can insert it in if we want to.
I like how he pressed his board a little bit.
I really wanted the sound to pick up during this. We don't have a soundboard, so we have to make it natural.
Every episode's just gonna start with a fart. I
Yeah.
swear.
Yeah. Even our trial episode, it started out. All right. So I'm Nathan. I'm over here talking right now. And to my
Mike
left,
directly to
Mike.
his left.
Yes.
I'm Nick.
I'm Mike.
I'm Grayson.
Yes. So we are the
Guys.
podcast guys. The guys.
We're
So,
the
yes.
guys.
So this podcast is basically it's just dudes being weird and
It's just an outlet of our chaos and
In our inner mind.
a fun way to show everyone else what our inner mind. I really hope I never have to see your inner mind.
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
Only the deepest conversation and thoughts on this podcast. Welcome back to Food of the Mind, being hosted by Nate Simpkins.
Yo, Mike, if there's a food for your mind, it's chili cheese dog.
Yeah.
Usually,
Or lettuce.
usually how this podcast will go is we'll usually have some sort of topic and we'll talk about that and then it just derails into whatever. That's basically what's going to happen.
There's like
Much.
a little structure, just a little
Yes,
framework.
there is always some structure.
A little framework.
See,
And
it's,
then
it's
there's
Sad
just
little
nothing.
structure.
our podcast is like a bridge.
Oh,
It's
God.
got great
Oh,
structure,
no, that's metaphor.
Oh, no.
and then at the end it's broken, and just
That is.
It's
That's
good.
deep. That's
It's
So
deep, just like your
deep.
car in the ocean. When
Yes.
you get down.
Yeah.
So honestly, I was curious about this. That's why I wanted to start up filming. What are your guys' big plans? Like, I heard you're going to Butler for the hell of the tuition.
Mhm.
Infantry, you said?
yep in the army.
I wonder more about that.
Butler.
Butler,
And I haven't really decided where I want
and
to go
he's
yet.
doing still choosing which. I'm similar because I'm
You're
the
a sophomore.
little young man.
Yes, Mike over here's sophomore. The rest
Wait,
of us.
I'm
He's a
surrounded,
young man.
I'm surrounded by the big men.
Yes. Surrounded by the big man.
I'm surrounded by big
I
men.
feel like I just got moved up to the adults table. I'm still eating my Mickey Mouse fork. No, I'm 15.
You're 15.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Graduated to pull-ups now.
Yeah.
I'm a big kid now.
so wait, Nikki, you said you haven't decided, but are you going to college for sure? Or?
Oh yeah, definitely. I probably shouldn't be focusing this as my main college focus, but I definitely want to run in college, and I'm looking at colleges that will provide that. Like, Ball State will not provide that, so Ball State's completely out of my list.
Mhm.
And I'm looking at like colleges that are more private-ish, and also IUPUI. So like Indiana Wesleyan, Marion, and IUPUI are my 3 main choices. But,
Cool.
Thought about Taylor?
I did, but like I heard bad stuff about their program. I don't want to diss on them on here. I don't know if they're listening.
Ooh.
Ooh, I heard
Diss
Taylor.
track. Taylor University diss track.
Hey,
from
I
Nikki P.
pinched
I also
my
heard
thigh.
good stuff too.
There's-
I've heard good stuff. So it's not like necessarily bad.
There's definitely pros and cons of every school.
100%.
Says the man going into the army.
All pros here, baby.
Grayson's college experience is a firefight.
Got all pros here, baby.
Only
y'all got-
one con.
Wait,
Are
but
you
genuinely,
going to college?
yeah. What do you? No, he's not gonna.
No,
do
like any college education, some military.
Well,
He's going to Georgia and he's going east. So what do you
Vietnam.
It's not like a pin bomb. It's just like
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
shot off.
There's
So-
downtime.
There
So
is.
tell us about like what this year's gonna look like for you then, Grayson, after high school.
So for me,
You're allowed to wear cowboy boots in the army.
no.
It's
Those are
required.
nice. No.
They know it's the Americans.
I'm treating
In order to be a true Yankee Doodle boy, you have to have cowboy boots on in the
Yeah.
Anyways, good to do.
Yeah. So what was your question again? Sorry, we got off topic.
I asked what your year would look like after high school.
Yeah, so after high school is mainly just finish up my senior year. I guess in my mind there's more. So in my mind, I guess I just want to do things that I don't want to regret.
Okay.
Just kind of live life before I go. So I'll definitely finish up high school, graduate with y'all. have a few weeks after graduation, which I believe is June 6th, and I'll be deploying a week before the 4th of July, so the end of June.
Wow.
And I'll actually start boot camp on the 4th of July.
So how did you like get interested in this? Because I know for me, I remember I got like a 1 or 2 months little like period of time where like I kind of wanted to do the military, and I got contacted by like a recruiter, and they're just like, hey yo, do you want to come in? It's a cool gig. But
What is this? You're in a band. This is a band manager.
No,
Hey, it's a cool gig.
That's literally what my recruiter said. He's like, yeah.
He said it's a cool gig.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
He texted me and said it's a cool gig. I'm like, no,
It wasn't a test.
he did.
It was in
Yeah.
a dark alleyway. It was just, hey,
You want to join the army?
it's a cool gig.
Want to learn how to shoot guns?
Wear your boy boots.
But yeah, Nick, like for me, it's always been kind of off and on, like 2 months I want to join, the next 2 months it's like, nah, I don't think, maybe not. But definitely from a young age, I was always interested in joining. I kind of mess around with friends. I'm like, hey, you're going to the military, I'll see you there, kind of thing. I mean, I was 2nd grade, so I didn't know what the heck I was talking about.
Right.
But as I, progressed through middle school and definitely into high school, I started to understand that I really do not like school at all. So college for me was off the table. So I was looking at either doing some trades or military. I could or work on a farm.
Farm work.
yeah, fun boy.
I mean, I like the idea of a trade.
Trade school.
But yeah, trade school. Yeah, but I never could explain why I wanted to do it. It just felt like it was something that I had to do.
So it was kind of like in your heart when you thought
A
about it.
calling.
It just felt right.
Yeah, calling a source. Yeah.
Your soul.
Is your were in your
It's in your
parents
soul.
or anything?
You felt the tingles.
So
Well, no, but it's for real. Though. That's, dude, like, if you're making a decision, you always know there's like logic and then there's what.
Then with calling.
Yeah.
Yes.
man.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Well, anyway, as I was, getting into my senior year, I was like, man, I got 1 year left and I'm graduating. What am I doing? And I was gonna plan on taking a gap year anyway. I think it's very important to take a gap year. Don't rush into anything. But I was just like, all right, I'll reach out to a recruiter. I'll get information at least, at minimum, just find out what's gonna go on. So I had a few meetings with a recruiter, and then I called him back a couple months later, and I was like, hey, I'm seriously thinking about doing this. And so I'm just going through the process of.
How many pull-ups do you make you do?
25.
You have to do 30 or you're going to the bottom of the slums. You clean the toilets, boy.
Low key, that's pretty much how it is. But no, for pull-ups, you gotta do at least 15.
Oh.
And when I say pull-ups, you gotta do like
A real
like
pull-up.
like all the way down, like hang yourself and
Right.
back up like your chest has to be above the bar. But yeah, I mean, I kind of am very nervous about it because the cons are you could either die, you could have really severe PTSD, or you could lose a
That is
limb.
pretty bad.
Yeah, die's pretty bad. Yeah. But overall,
Clean the
there's
toilet.
more pros than cons, in my opinion.
So-
So.
Here's my question. Now, here, would y'all rather get shot in the head and die quickly, or would you rather have your leg chopped off in an explosion and then just have to live to that? What would you? I'm just asking.
Well, no.
These are the questions here that you have to ask yourself in the military.
Okay.
That's actually a very good question.
Yeah.
So for
Would you rather
me,
just die spontaneously.
Think about it. Would you rather be quick and painless, or still live but have a very painful life?
Yeah.
Well,
let me clarify that.
Realistic.
So if I'm going to die, if I know I'm going to die, of course I'd want it quick.
Yeah.
But if I get my leg blown off, I would rather live without a leg. Because a leg I can live without. I can get prosthetics and I can run. You see those guys in Olympics with prosthetics who can run miles. But if I lost my my right arm, might be a little bit more harder to deal with because I'm a righty, so I have to learn how to do everything with my left hand. So yeah, but
I bet they could program a robot arm for that.
At that point. Technology is coming.
If I lost my right hand,
The whole left leg. The front portion of my right hand.
I can go without my leg, but as soon as we get
ready.
As well, of course.
It's the writing. That's what I'm worried about.
They're losing the right.
I mean, yeah, I'm back on topic. I mean, dying is always in the back of your head because, especially now with,
Is it always? That's concerning.
Wait, what?
Is dying always?
Dying's always in your head.
Well, you mean
well, when you're in the military, yeah. I mean,
okay.
it's a concern. It's a concern.
It's a concern. You can die in boot camp. I mean, when you
That's
test live
true.
grenades, if someone throws it wrong and you're not paying attention, you can blow
I think
up.
they're decoys, aren't they?
Is that what it sounds like?
You gotta learn how to throw real
Sounds
real
okay.
grenades. They're real.
So
Is that what it sounds like?
It's just like
A grenade
you can
hits
just
you.
drop it, have a terrible throwing arm, then your whole crew is dead.
Some do.
your career's dead.
That's a crew.
Quite literally, man.
See, you have to understand this. When you've gone 3 days straight without sleep and your body is sore as heck and you're throwing live grenades, sometimes you can't blame the person who throws it wrong. Well, I mean, of course you can blame him because he's an idiot. But I mean,
You can't blame him that he blew us up.
He was just doing his thing.
fault.
I mean, we're all dead now. Then what the heck?
I worded that wrong.
Chilling in heaven, you like kick off the one guy who was sore and threw a grenade around.
All right, I worded
We could convince
that.
Private Stumpy not to clean out the artillery cramp with his bare hands. So we call him Edward.
All right.
I couldn't make out a word. My man sounded like Elmo. Right hand.
See, I worded that wrong. You're really tired, you're really sore, but you definitely do not want to throw your grenade wrong.
Yeah.
At all, because you will be made fun for that. Well, I mean,
It's a grenade.
Not if you kill them.
Oh, you silly
your sergeants will be on your cheeks. They'll be yelling at you for doing it because you're an idiot.
I bet.
They on your cheeks.
Well, I mean,
we gotta like, you gotta learn the words you're saying. Man, these sergeants are on my cheeks.
I'm trying to cuss on this.
Hey, yeah, you can
No.
But yeah, no. But so deployment-wise, like you said, you're gonna go boot camp, learn how to do stuff, and off you go to the east. I mean, it all depends what you're doing, right? Because obviously, after 9/11, we were high. We were going to war with Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran. I mean, you would literally go to boot camp and probably be deployed. But now, since it's not like that anymore, you're more or less going to be deployed in the country. So like Texas, Hawaii, Washington.
California.
Would you ever want to be like on more of a private squad or like elite, more?
So you have your MOSs that you belong to.
Yeah.
So like for infantry, it's 11B, which stands for 11 Bravo. Like that encompasses the whole infantry. But you'll have your separate platoons that you're in. It'll be full of maybe like 5 or 7 guys. Those are the guys you'll be close with. Those are the guys you'll be close with. But I mean, right now, obviously there's kind of like this threat with Russia and the Ukraine going on. So it is a good chance that I might be deployed to Ukraine if things get out of hand.
Ukraine.
Would you be excited about that? Like, would you be
So
interested about
a
that?
part of me would be freaking the heck out because
Bad word.
real,
Oh, perfect run. Destroyed.
real live fire. But at the same time, I think it'd be kind of exciting to get some action. It's just all. It's based on just who you are, right?
Yeah.
Because some people are like, I don't want to shoot someone. But I'm like, if you're joining the military, you better be prepared that you might have to shoot someone.
Well, you don't have to do active duty. I know when I was looking at it, you could be like, at least for me, I was looking at the cybersecurity portion of it. So I was just
Yeah.
like, I wouldn't even be in the front lines. I'll just be helping with security on like the front and stuff.
Were
Yeah.
you like? Here's something funny that I got. You know how they like take everyone out on those huge airliner or the huge cargo planes that they pull everyone out on? My
Where we dropping?
my grand. Oh God! My grandpa's favorite thing to say was "bring a hammock." Because he was deployed overseas, and his big thing was bring a hammock because everyone's just going to be sitting on those little ropes, those rope things. And if you have a hammock, you have a step up on everyone. So there's if my grandpa would hear, he'd say, "Bring a hammock." It's his whole thing.
Well, speaking of planes, the reason I'm going infantry is because I can transfer over to what I actually want to do, which is airborne school. So I will literally be jumping out of a
Airborne
perfectly good
school?
airplane. So yes, Nick, I will be where we dropping, boys.
Warzone!
Where we drop it.
I will be where we drop it.
Where we drop it. I got you.
I will be. Wait, what?
I'll be there.
Where are we dropping?
Yeah.
Where we drop me.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Are
probably
you thinking about flight school? at all?
flight school.
It's a bit different.
Yeah, that's Air Force.
Yeah.
Wait, what branch do you say?
Army infantry.
Yeah. See, like, yeah. See, you gotta realize that I just signed up and I have not gone through boot camp, so I don't know anything. And so if I explain some things wrong, then I probably will. I'll probably make myself sound stupid in some regards.
Understand.
So then what you're saying is you want to stop talking about
Yeah.
this. Well,
Fair enough.
All right, Nate, what do you want to do?
So yeah, I'm over here. I'm just doing the traditional going to college. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where are you going in for?
But I think that's an idea that's been broken recently. The idea that
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
college is
You
just
need
the
to.
Oh, you know what's,
Yeah,
what's
that's true.
really interesting is that most of my friends are not going to college. Like I know a lot of people that are not going to college.
Yeah.
Or at least not going immediately, like you, Mike.
Yeah.
But it just felt like a good option. Like I felt like there was a very good opportunity to go to a good school, and I was like, I'm gonna take it.
I get you. Like the thing is, in today's world, there's so many opportunities that you can get that pay as much as a paying job that you can get that requires like a bachelor's degree or a master's degree. You can get a job that pays similar without even going to college. Like I know my friend's brother, he works as truck driving, and he makes I think $200,000 a year off driving trucks and bringing cargo.
I wouldn't want to be a truck driver.
Well, no, I've heard it's boring and it's dangerous, but like you do get paid well though. And I'm just saying you can get jobs in today's world.
I wanna, like-
without like a bachelor's.
You
thing
can
is-
make a living by working any job.
What?
I'm sorry. What?
More specific, Chris.
Well, I mean, I know people are gonna say, what are you talking about? Anyone can make a living off of any job.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of true, right? It's it's
About
all about how you spend your money.
For the ones that can
Right.
get
The lowest infantry poop scooper.
Rub the toilet. Boy.
You can't make a living off of like
That's broken.
what is our Indiana team like? What division are they for baseball? Like
Oh, they're like.
Division 3.
Well, there's. Are you talking about like the Indianapolis Indians?
Yeah, I know their making is really low. It's like $10K. You can't make a living off that. So like your statement that
He's
you can
saying,
make a
no,
living
he's saying like if you are playing for the Indians right now, if you
Yeah.
put work towards being a really good baseball player and you go to D1, you go to
Well-
eventually MLB, you can make a living off that.
Yeah, D1 would be college. This is
Well, yeah, no, not college,
more like
but, like-
D4, but like.
Well, no,
You can
the,
make-
the
No, for-
Indians, they're not D anything.
Yeah, there's like a difference.
The minor leagues.
That's how it's coming.
It's the minor leagues.
Yeah, so
See,
like,
minor, yeah.
but if
Yeah.
you
G League for basketball.
the
Yes,
more,
yes.
so he's saying instead of like a specific team, if you are a baseball player, if you are good enough at being a baseball player, you can make a living.
Oh, I see.
Or you
Well,
could
yeah,
take
like-
some time, get really good at it, like go do training and all that,
Well,
and then go into it.
Here's another example, right? Like I was working at Olive Garden, right? And
Here we go.
I was a busser, and we don't make that much. I mean, we make a lot in tips. It's all based on the sales of that night. So sometimes I would only make $20 in tips, but I'd be mainly paid $5 an hour. So that is, the hourly is below minimum wage, but with the tips, it's a kind of above it. But you have to realize, I had some friends working there, and they all quit. Like, I'm not getting a raise. I don't know why I'm not.
You were getting paid under aluminum wage?
Yeah, they're like,
Well, no, keep in mind it's tip share, so he's probably depending on the night he could be making like 13.
Mike,
Well-
you didn't pick up on the shit.
What did you?
I said he was getting paid under aluminum wage.
Oh,
What's an aluminum falcon?
minimum.
Can you guys give me some of that minimum foil?
But let me finish my story.
some more aluminum bucks.
But no, like
Printing them out myself.
Yeah, so they didn't get a raise, so they quit. But the reason was they didn't work hard. They came up and did the bare minimum. I worked my butt off a lot.
Just one of them. I worked my cheek.
My left cheek off.
All right, Chief. Now that's
And
only
what do I get for? I get aluminum wage.
I worked my butt off, and I got 2 raises, and I was making $15 an hour. I went from
Wait, you went
$5
from 5
to
to 15?
Yes.
With tips.
That is like
with tips.
more than 15.
Whoa.
Five?
But you have to realize.
15 more than 5.
Yeah,
Quick math.
you have to realize the reason why I was being paid more is because I was transferred over to a different position. So I
Did you
wasn't.
say it was 15 more than 5? No, it's 10 more than 5.
No, I'm saying 15 more than 5.
Okay.
So yeah. So the reason I was paid so much more is because I was working the kitchen then, so I wasn't always bussing.
Bussin'.
So, but yeah.
I'm buzzing.
Damn, at least you're busting, man.
But What's your job? Busting a move.
That's how I got a raise. So you just hear in the Olive Garden kitchen.
Nah. What you hear in the kitchen is mariachi band.
What's that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh yeah, we get that at Bubba's too.
A lot of polka.
Yeah.
You better get used to it.
I just want a job where I can listen to music while I do it.
Yeah.
AirPods.
Well,
I base a lot of my life and like mood off of music. Like I can change my mood of a day just through my music.
Well,
I
listen to Juice
agree.
WRLD, you'll be sad for the rest of the day.
Oh god.
This world sucks. I'm not gonna lie. His music is awful. His music is awful.
It's
Don't
a terrible
listen to
Mike
it.
pisses off 75% of our listeners.
I mean, he's not.
To be fair, it's terrible. It's not. It's not
repetitive.
rap. It's not rap,
I don't listen to rap
It's not
anyways.
proposed as rap.
Yeah.
But like,
It's pop.
I don't like it either.
and it's awful pop.
I mean, some of the songs are okay.
It's debatable. No, like, 'cause
Most
that's
of
the
them are
thing.
terrible.
Juice WRLD is a very specific, like, I personally wouldn't listen to him, but I can't say that his music's bad. Just like I couldn't say that metal's bad, and I bet 90 people would say that metal's
Yeah.
bad.
It also
But
makes-
it's, just because it's not my thing doesn't mean it's not done well.
Well, yeah, like
Yeah.
it's hard for me to say because Juice WRLD's type of music is just not the music I listen to.
Yeah.
So
It's whiny, cry, little.
okay, Mike. It's
It's a
easy
man-
for me to just be like, I don't like Juice WRLD.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
it would
the
like
music.
just like it'd be easy for me to say it's screamy emptiness, right?
Uh-huh.
Like
Right.
I don't like.
He's
that.
referring. He's referring to the Slipknot shirt I'm wearing.
Yes.
Yeah, I know
Oh,
one
yeah,
of
I
my
saw that. I
friends.
like that. Man, I chose the wrong day to wear Pacers gear. I should have worn Slipknot gear. To be matching with
You
my
wear that
name.
every day.
I didn't wear this.
No,
No,
Slipknot.
Slipknot.
I don't. Okay, it seems
Hey,
like
guys,
every day because I
you're
wear.
you're taking the life away from his half painted on bright orange T-shirt.
Half the t-shirts you own have holes in them too.
That's true. And paint on
Including
some
the
of them too.
Slipknot one that has.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, matching with yeah, we got
let's
Pacers
go.
gear. There we go. But no, half the stuff I have has either paint or holes in it.
Sorry.
What the heck was
that?
that? What was that?
There's a hair on my finger.
Oh.
All right, we should go back on the Olive Garden. Back on the subject.
Yes.
Is there anything else? I just remember his left cheek was left in bussin'.
Yeah.
He was breaking a move in the kitchen.
Got a raise. So it's about working your butt off to get as much money as possible from your job.
And this is why he's going into the army.
That is a good lesson.
But I think the biggest thing I was going off of is like you can make a living off of anything. Like my whole thing is my first job. I want it to be something where I'm doing manual labor, because what I can give someone, like, since I am just of a larger guy, if I'm put at Walmart unloading trucks, that would make more money than someone who just went to Walmart and was like, I need a job. If I went to Walmart and I said I can do manual labor, unload trucks, move pallets, stuff like that. I have these things and I can work like this. I bet I'm going to be put at a better starting pay than someone who just went in and was like, I need a job.
Right.
It shows determination. It's easier to impress your bosses when you first get hired than it is when you're there for a long time.
True.
So always work harder the first couple months when you're there.
And then bust a move in the kitchen.
Yes. But, I mean, there's tons of manual labor jobs you can get. Like
I want to work at Subway with all my friends.
Oh. Right, guys, screw all of our plans. Let's just go to Subway.
Can we
We open our own Subway.
The Subway Allisonville. That one has like no one in it right now.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
true.
it's saying it's all hiring. I mean, I'd say the 5 of us go work at Subway.
We should.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
make $8 an hour consecutively.
There's a gas station that has no workers right now. What if all of us were just working at the gas station?
Can 5 people even?
I don't think so.
Really?
Well,
Have you all think about this? Have you all ever seen more than 1 or 2 people working like
No.
in a gas station?
No.
Heck no.
But,
They're there.
They're all in
what
the
would all of
back.
us do? Like 2 of us would run the register, 1 of us would stop.
Get those
and
gas pumps working.
Bro, imagine this. You're
man at work.
Hey Mike, how's your Thursday? Oh, it was good. We got held up, but hope you have a good Friday.
Yeah. Great. All right, boys. I'd say it's a successful podcast.
Hold on, one
Hope
mic.
you listeners have enjoyed. It's the very first episode.
Mike's gonna grip our mic.
Yes.
No, I was checking the time to see how long we've been going for. It's good.
Like 20 minutes.
25 actually.
Nice.
All right, boys. This was fun.
It was fun.
Hopefully, you listeners continue to listen in. Oh,
Don't you dare.
That was weak. That was weak.
I'll show you a better one.
That's What do you want from the
Audio.
Why do they have separate claps? Why was it like? You're gonna need to check your.
So, just to recap our podcast today, it started with a fart and ended with a fart.
It's a circle of life.
So anyway, yeah, hopefully listeners liked it and continue to listen to this podcast.
Okay.
It'll be a weekly thing.
Every Monday, Tuesday.
That's not entirely
Or
accurate. That's
Gonna be
don't listen to what you just said.
podcast will be up every Friday.
Wait. Oh, yeah.
I don't know, maybe.
Duh.
Editing
Duh.
and all that, so you know.
But yeah, this
Let's just forget the empty promises and say it'll be likely be one more week.
Damn.
I will release this
All right.
podcast 5 seconds after every first Tuesday of the month.
Another one.
First Tuesday after every leap year, after every ninth, and every quarter.
we need to wrap this up, Mike.
The moon is full.
We gotta go.
All right.
All right,
All right, boys. This was the
guys being dudes podcast.
One.
Everyone say fart on 3. 1, 2, 3.
farts.